I'm a carnivore through and through, and I always need some form of meat with every meal, otherwise it just doesn't really feel like a complete meal to me. Now, the one exception to that though, is this Tofu Chua, or fried tofu with tomatoes. This dish is so hearty, incredibly tasty, and the tofu does an amazing job of soaking up all that flavor, resulting in a meal that really punches above its weight class. And the best part is that it comes together in about 15 minutes. Tofu Chua is a dish that hits really close to home for me, and each bite is a reminder of my mom's cooking, love, and affection. So do me a favor and make sure you like, comment, share, and save this video. Alright y'all, remember to wash your hands. The first step is getting all of our prep work done, and we'll start by finely mincing a small shallot. Then I have some green onions that I'll chop up. And lastly, I have 4 Roma tomatoes that I'll just quarter up. And as the tomato sauce stews, I do want there to be some chunks visible, so we don't want to cut the tomatoes too much smaller than this. Now I have 12 ounces of fried tofu, and if you can't find this for whatever reason, you can also make this with a block of extra firm tofu instead. Here's all of our ingredients, and now it's time to cook. To a pan on medium-high, we'll add in a splash of oil. We'll saute our minced shallots for a minute. Add in some minced garlic and saute for another minute or until fragrant. And I like mincing whole garlic cloves in bulk in the food processor so that I always have minced garlic candy, because mincing garlic with a knife is probably my least favorite thing to do in the kitchen. Now to our pan, we'll add in a tablespoon of tomato paste, and we just want to cook out all that raw flavor. Then we'll add in our quartered Roma tomatoes and let this cook, allowing the tomatoes to release some of its juices. And if you like this recipe and you want to learn how to make more of your favorite Vietnamese and Asian dishes, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all my latest posts. To that, we'll add in a 1/3 cup of water. And then we'll season this with a tablespoon of chicken bouillon, half a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of fish sauce, and some fresh ground black pepper. Now, if you wanted to make this dish vegan friendly, you could substitute the chicken bouillon for mushroom powder or MSG, and instead of the fish sauce, just use salt instead. While the sauce won't have as much depth and complexity with the substitutions, it'll still be a really amazing dish. We'll get this well incorporated, bring that up to a rolling boil, and then we'll add in our fried tofu and give that a good mix. And then we'll drop the heat to low and let this simmer covered for 5 to 10 minutes to really allow the tofu to absorb the flavors of our beautiful sauce. Once that's done, I'll add some more black pepper, give that a taste test and make any final adjustments to the seasonings. And then it's time to plate. We're serving this over a bowl of white jasmine rice. We'll spoon over our tofu, tomatoes, and sauce. And then we'll garnish simply with some green onions. And just like that, you've made Tofu sốt cà chua at home. As always, the full recipe and measurements is on my blog at feedthepudge.com. Now, whenever I eat food that reminds me of my mom's cooking, I think back to when we first immigrated to America, before anyone in my family knew how to drive a car. My mom used to take the number 7 Metro bus every single day to take me to preschool. She'd drop me off, and then she would take another bus to work in the basement of someone's house, working in almost a sweatshop, putting together and sewing JanSport backpacks, getting paid pennies on the dollar per pound. Now, when preschool is done, she would leave in the middle of her day to come pick me up, and I just remember being a little brat, always complaining about walking and having to take the bus. So she would offer to give me a piggyback ride up the big hill we'd have to walk up. And no matter how tired or exhausted she got, she never complained. And she would even sing me little songs or Vietnamese nursery rhymes to keep me entertained. And these were all the things that I took for granted, not realizing that while she didn't show me love through words of affirmation, she always did it through acts of service, like cutting fruit or cooking me food. And hindsight is 20/20, but as an adult, I can see how much she cared for me my entire life. So here's a reminder to tell your mom that you love her. And if you've made it this far, let me know in the comment section what dish reminds you of your mom the most. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy.